check. Okay. Hello, happy Woman Crush Wednesday, y'all. It has been so long. I actually went and looked at my playlist for this show, and I haven't done this show in 10 months. That's way too long. So I'm really excited to be back. Very happy that I have a really awesome guest to interview and talk to today. And before we start, I wanted to give some shout outs to a few really fun people. So this morning, I woke up and I did my little morning routine. And then I was like, all right, let's check Twitter now. And one of the first things I saw was that I'd been tagged by someone. And it says, seems I minted at AWildSJ, LOL, and then hashtag PulseFunks. And I looked at the NFT, and sure enough, looks a little bit like me, especially when I had done this kind of makeup for the ASMR streams back in the day. And I like to get dolled up like this every now and then. So if you want to check out a random guy, his handle is actually at Soul88 Tireless, SOUL 88 Tireless. You can see that tweet. I actually put it in the chat as well. So if you look in the chat, you can take a look at this NFT. Well, so I commented on it, and then he commented back and was like, hey, if you want this NFT, I'd be happy to send it to you. So I now also own an NFT of myself, which is kind of strange because I think I have at least 2 or 3. It's like the majority of the NFTs I own now are of me, and that feels weird, but okay. I'm just gonna go with it, right? So let's see. It's been so long since I've done this. I want to kind of keep up with the chat too. Let's see. Hello, Matt. How are you? Welcome to the show. Crypto Kobe, what's up? Donnell, hello. Drix, D Bunny, mwah, what's up, girl? I'm glad you're here. Super cool. Oh, Donnell's that random guy. Hey, what's up? Yeah, thanks for coming by. Eshatar also joining in the chat. Very cool. Well, hey, without further ado, and as very timely here that my sweet kitten is here, because my guest today goes by Mana on the Twitterverse, and her handle is at Spectral Mana. That's at SPECTRALMANA. You can also see a link to her link tree in the description of this video. So be sure to check that out, follow her, and take a look at what she's doing, y'all. I saw her doing this stuff like months ago and was just amazed. Like, it's so cool what we can do now with VR and NFTs, and this is the future right here. So without further ado, I'll bring my guest on here. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Hey guys.
Hello. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on, SJ. I really appreciate it, especially with everything that you have going on with the PulseChain tour. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna put your link tree in the chat real quick. But while I do that, go ahead and, well, I know this is kind of one of the questions, but give us just a real general overview of what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I'm a virtual reality artist. That means that I make my art in virtual reality. I also do NFTs, like I make the art in virtual reality, and then I mint them as NFTs, or I'm planning to mint my own collection soon, PulseCats. And yeah, I guess I'll go into a little bit more. I know we have a specific question on that, but I do also AI art, VR art, 3D art, yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I just love watching the process of you doing it is just such a cool thing to do. So yes, definitely check that out. I linked the link tree. Click those buttons, y'all. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the questions. And I'm keeping it the same. I really love this format for Woman Crush Wednesday. I think these questions are a lot of fun, so I'm going to stick with it for now. So question number 1 is, how did you find Richard Hart, HEX, or just that ecosystem, right? How did you or how did you get into crypto, if one came first and then the other?
Yeah, so I actually got into crypto around 2021, I think, like the same time that a lot of people did. I heard about how much money people were making, and I knew it was probably like too late for me at that point, but I was curious and wanted to try investing a little bit. And really, it was a token that shares the same name as me that got me started, the Mana token for Decentraland. I got like a Coinbase account, and I wanted to start like playing around with investing small amounts of money. And I was looking into the different coins and like doing research and stuff. And being new to this, I didn't really like understand the differences between a lot of the coins. I'm not really like much of a math person or anything. But the Mana token really made sense to me. Like the idea of this coin that was tied to in-game currency, that was really easy to understand. Plus, I had the same name as my name, so obviously, like I had to buy some. And it ended up doing pretty well. I made a little bit of money on that one, and a few other tokens, but nothing life-changing. And then fast forward to like end of 2021, beginning of 2022, I had this one friend. I've known him on the internet for like over 10 years now, and he's like deep into crypto. And I probably should have just like listened to his advice from the start, because then I would have gotten into HEX early. But I was just like overwhelmed and kind of just getting started and like learning about all this stuff. But he had made a lot of money on HEX, and he told me about the PulseX sacrifice phase, which was going on at the time. And then by then I had been, playing around with MetaMask and NFTs and stuff. So I was a little bit more prepared at that point to like send my tokens over for the sacrifice. But yeah, that's when I really got into the RH ecosystem. I was also trying to get into selling my VR art as NFTs. And at the time I was gonna maybe like try to apply to one of these like curated platforms like Makerspace or Nifty Gateway or something like that. Or just like mint on Ethereum or whatever. But then I saw the video with Gerardo announcing Mintra and that there was going to be like an NFT marketplace on PulseChain. So I thought, great, like I'll just mint my collection on PulseChain because, one, the gas fees are going to be super duper cheap. That was really what turned me off to it at the beginning. Was like the first time I tried to mint an NFT was like $400 to mint.
Dang.
And I was like, I'm a nobody. I don't know who's gonna buy this. If I minted it, I'm just like out that money. Like, I don't know if this is for me. So yeah, I figured the gas fees will be cheap. And then it just kind of makes sense because my cats pulse to the beat of the music. Like I had this concept before hearing about PulseChain. It just kind of made sense. I didn't have a name for my collection at the time. I was just calling them like audio reactive VR big cats. And I was like, why not just like call them PulseCats and then mint them on PulseChain. But yeah, little did I know though that when RH said mid-May, that he meant mid-May 2023. Still, I held out. I'm still waiting for Mintra to launch my collection on Mintra. But in the meantime, I got involved in a lot of like the NFT communities that are like in this ecosystem. I'm like the core artist for the Pulse Dog Sock DAO. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I made a bunch of like VR dogs with like HEX hats and PulseX hats and PulseChain accessories and stuff. Yeah. So that's how I got into like this ecosystem in crypto.
That's awesome. I love that we talked a little bit in the green room, but it's like both of us actually ended up with names for things because of Richard Hart's ecosystem in a way. Like A Wild SJ kind of stemmed from partly me reading Sci-Vive and learning a little bit about him. And then, PulseCats is a lot more succinct and easier to remember than audio reactive.
Yeah.
Which we said earlier. Yeah. Very cool. So with that in mind, it's a good story about, how you got in and, you wish you would have listened to your friends sooner and things like that. What's one piece of advice that you would give to anyone who's just looking into crypto, just thinking, hey, maybe this is something I want to invest in, but I'm not sure. For example, I talked to my Uber driver last night, and he was very just of the mindset that it's all fake digital, like ones and zeros. And I made the point, well, what about your bank account? Does the bank actually have those dollars sitting in a safe with your name on it? So what is something that you would tell anyone who's just kind of curious about crypto right now?
So there's the obvious one, like don't invest more than you can afford to lose. I'm sure that's not like controversial or anything, but then also like don't not invest anything, right? One of the things that I tell people who are new to it is like, you know, which is more painful to you? Like you invest like nothing and then think later like, oh, I should have done that. If only I had put like, $100, like something that's just like a little bit, right? Like that you're not going to be sad about losing. Are you going to be more upset that you didn't invest anything, or are you going to be more upset if that $100 is nothing? Like if you invest like like a small amount that you can afford to lose, whether it's like $100 or $1,000 or whatever. I don't know, just throw it in there, and as long as it's not like money that you really need, see what happens. And, but yeah, that's the one thing. I guess if there's other ones, don't lose your seed phrase. I've had friends of mine that lost their seed phrase, never like wrote it down or anything. And I don't know, I guess they assumed that there was like a customer support or something like that. But yeah, keep it secure, don't lose it. And then if you're trying to do NFT stuff, don't use your main wallet for that. Have like a separate like burner wallet that doesn't touch like, like your money, like your main investments or whatever, especially if you feel like whatever you're about to interact with might be a little bit sketchy. Definitely use a burner wallet.
Brilliant. Yeah, those are great pieces of advice for sure. Super appreciate that. All right. And then you did, I wanted you to talk a little bit at the beginning about what you do, but go ahead and go into it again. Tell us about your content and then the role that you feel you play within the community. So
yeah, I make virtual reality art. I also make AI art. I sometimes make like mixed reality videos showing like my process of like making my art in VR with this green screen here. I think the mixed reality videos are super cool because really like it isn't like anything else that exists out there. Like the feeling of like being able to make art in VR, it's like almost like doing graffiti art, but like in 3D space without gravity, without worrying about supplies or materials or anything. So I think that part of the content is very interesting. But yeah, I have the NFT collection I'm planning to launch on PulseChain called PulseCats. It's a collection of audio reactive big cats. I'm only going to do like 8 at first, and then I'm going to keep minting them like in phases. I also want to like have like people vote on like what they want to see and do stuff like that. But yeah, each cat is going to come with a link to like a compressed zip file that will have all of these 3D files. So if you want to do like augmented reality stuff with them, if you want to bring them into your metaverse world, you can do that. You can even make music videos with them if you have like, like the setup for it and everything. But I also will provide instructions for all of those different things, like how to do them. And yeah, you can do whatever you want with the files. But yeah, I'm excited to bring something that's like unique to PulseChain with my art. Hopefully something that people haven't seen before and will excite them, and hopefully bring in art collectors from other chains here to PulseChain. See something shiny and new and be like, hey, maybe I should put some money into PulseChain and play around there. I also help co-host the PLS Degens Twitter space alongside HEX and D Bunny. Shout out to them, as well as the Staker class. We do a lot of onboarding of Degens from other communities into PulseChain, and it's generally like a positive space where we just try to bring like good vibes and have people on from other chains, whether they're like artists or developers or they're just curious and just want to hang out. It's like a positive space for them. So yeah, that's kind of like my content that I do.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to do a small chat break, and I have a question first. Okay. Is it only big cats, or can we turn Sophia into a pulse cat?
I mean, I can do other stuff too. Like I have one guy. Yeah, I do put polls out, so maybe I'll put a poll out. I had like somebody reach out and was like, is the guy Danny HEX Orangutan? He's like, I really want an orangutan. And I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of bored. Like, I want to make something different. And I I did it in like a day. I was like, oh, I thought it would be harder to do like an orangutan in VR, but yeah, I could do other stuff like just like regular kitty cats for sure. Yeah.
I was like, I have NFTs. I think she deserves one as well.
Oh.
So again, saying what's up to the chat. I see DJ Pollywood, some Hexagon. Shout out to those dudes, man. They are my caravan. They're my caravan. Like they like follow me on the road. We've all been hanging out. It's been really nice, actually. Like for the first time since the tour started, we've actually had the chance to literally caravan together. We're all in Boise right now, in Idaho. Which random tidbit of news, I'm going to tweet about this later. If you are in the Boise area, or Boise, Idaho is not that far from you, Friday night, 6 p.m., Kona Grill, we're going out. Hexo is going to be there, and the fam. Nerd Girl's coming out. It is going to be a whole lot of fun. So if you're in the area, please come hang out with us. This is an unofficial PulseChain tour meetup because it's not on the schedule. So, and it's just going to be a little one. But we'd love to see you. So let's see. If I'm missing Drix, I think I said hi to you already. The Staker class, what is up, man? It was nice meeting you a little while back. Wheel Crypto, Georgia, mwah, 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 mwah. Love you so much. You're so wonderful, Georgia. We got Swizzle Sticks in the house. Big cat fan. That guy right there. DJ Cryptomatic, what's up, friend? Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and then I got this magical, how do I do this? I don't know if, oh, there we go. Ryan Lopez, $20 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I hold many Mana NFTs. Loving the Pulse Funks. Awesome. Super cool, man. I appreciate the heck out of that. Caravan is Swizzle Stick says the caravan's really my stalkers. It's fine. They do what they do. Robert Online, hello. All right, cool. So chat break done. Let's go on to the next question here, which is, I like this one a lot. So share a quote, a mantra, a saying, just something that uplifts you. Because as you may know, we're at the bottom of a bear market, y'all. And it has been a tough one. This is my first cycle in crypto. So this is the first time I've ever experienced a bear market. I didn't really know what that even was until we were probably halfway through it. So now that we're here and, we're still out here creating, right? Like the people that have stuck through this and have not given and have not disappeared, there's something special about this group, right? So what is something that kind of helps keep you going and uplifts you through times like this?
Yeah, so this question was a little bit hard for me because I guess I'm not much of like a quotes person. But I have one. It's actually from a movie called Waking Life. And the quote is, it's like you come into this planet with a crayon box. You might get the 8-pack, you might get the 16-pack, but it's really all in what you do with the crayons, with the colors that you're given. And I guess I resonate with this quote a lot because, I didn't come into this world with like the best circumstances. Like my parents were immigrants. We didn't have like a lot of money growing up. But I feel like you can go pretty far with just like creativity and pushing yourself, like, beyond even your own expectations. Yeah, I think that is really uplifting to me.
Nice. I have heard of that movie. I actually had it for a little while. Like someone let me borrow it and I still haven't seen it.
A good one, especially if you indulge in a little bit of like herbal substances beforehand. Yeah.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Like very like psychedelic.
Yeah, because it's like real action, except it's like is there like a filter on it? Because it looks trippy, right?
Yeah, it's like rotoscoped. I don't know if they did it all like by hand or what, but yeah, it's like it looks like it has a filter on it.
Nice. Yeah, super cool. So we'll check that out at some point. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, and then I like this one too. What is something you like to do outside of the crypto space, outside of your art, and like it can be another kind of art or whatever, but away from the computer? What is it that you enjoy spending your time doing?
Yeah, so I really love gardening.
Nice.
As much as I'm like this, like I guess like come across as like this techie person with all like my VR stuff and whatever. I love nature more than anything else. I love spending time outside, like in nature, taking care of my plants, growing veggies, hanging out with my puppy dog, my husband. Yeah, just like simple stuff. Yeah, I like to swim. I like hosting people. I'm a pretty normal human, I think.
Awesome. Have you heard of the Hex Guild or Hex Foodies?
No, I haven't.
All right, I just linked it in our main chat and in our private chat. You've got to check them out because that's what they're. I lost my mind when I found out about this group because I was stoked on Hex and crypto, and then I find out that there's a permaculture group, and I studied permaculture. I love growing food. It's probably the thing I miss the most living in a mobile life. Right? I have one tiny plant, and I think I killed it. Or it's dying slowly, a poor little thing. But I love just growing my own food, teaching other people that that's possible, and just how wonderful it is. That it actually changed my life. I've talked about it a few times, but the first time I grew a beet from seed, pulled the beet out of the ground, washed it off, and took a bite. That was it. I stopped eating fast food. I already wasn't drinking soda and things like that, but I just kind of stuck to water. It just really changed me at the core. I was over 200 pounds at one point and went from a sedentary lifestyle to living and working on a farm. And that was it for me. And I can't say more good things about this Hex Guild group. They started as the Hex Foodies because that was what it was about. We were like talking about gardening and permaculture, but now it's just a whole group of people who have all these amazing talents and skills. There's beekeepers, metal workers, woodworkers, just anything you can think of where people have these skills and really this is the group for me, I think is going to build Hexaco literally at first. In fact, there's a guy in Zanzibar that already is creating a basically permaculture based Hexaco out there. He's got buildings going up already and people coming to help. So definitely check that out. I love shilling them because they are just the bee's knees.
Yeah, that's the dream, really. Like, if I had like a lot of money, like if I like really made it in crypto and I had like, I don't know, lots and lots of money, I always wanted to have like a mental health farm. I've heard of this before, but yeah, that's the dream. I should definitely check it out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that just being outside, especially for us, for people who are in crypto, who spend so much time online, content creators, artists, we really need that juxtaposition of being outdoors, getting your hands dirty, getting your feet on the ground so that you're grounding, and just it really helps to reset and balance this digital life that a lot of us kind of end up having. So yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, so next question is, okay, so shill yourself, where can we find you? What are all your links? What are your ats? Where do you want the people to follow you and find you? And again, a lot of this is in the description of this video, but go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. It's at SpectralMana. You can also find out more about like my NFT collection on my website, which is PulseCats.com. I have all the information there about like, when mint and, like roadmap, whatever, like all those questions. You can find it like on that website. You can also find me in the PLS DGen spaces that we have pretty much every day. Feel free to pop in and say hello. What are my other links? So I have my link tree. That's also at SpectralMana. I'm on Instagram. I have like 2 different Instagram accounts. I have one for like just my AI art, and then one for just me, like more of my personal stuff. I don't really like post as much on there, but I do like stories, taking photos of my plants and stuff on there.
Nice.
Yeah, those are my main links. You can see some more.
Sorry. Can you tell us what the other account with your food growing is?
That's just on my Instagram account, which is also SpectralMana.
Oh, got you. Cool. Awesome. I will definitely follow you because I love plants.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to say what else. There's a link on my link tree to the PulseDog socked out NFTs. But I guess you'll probably want to wait until they're on PulseChain on a marketplace to get them there if you're interested. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have like my own like Discord or Telegram channel or anything. I like to hang out in the PulseFunks Telegram And yeah, those are all my links.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to take one more little chat break here. I got Dart. I think I'm just warm. Like I'm not I don't think I got much sun. So I'm either sunburned or it's warm inside of this van. So that's what's going on right there. Maybe I'm a little nervous too. It has been a minute since I've streamed. So I'm easily excited right now. But I really liked what Benny Blanco was saying here. You don't want to be normal. The way culture is going, us normal people are now counterculture. Oh, so true. Yeah, pulse funks to the moon. Of all, I see NFTs, or have for the longest time, mostly, kind of as Richard describes them, right? It's a JPEG. At first though, I'm also an artist. I do photography. And I had this thing in my brain like, oh, well, what if I could turn my photos into NFTs? So, I see the benefit and the value of it as an artist for sure. And I really love that there's so many different NFT projects that are either coming to PulseChain or, are talking about PulseChain, and they're doing it in such a way that is going to pump the ecosystem in general. I think that's one of the coolest things, is that, yeah, of course we need all of these people, like everyone who has all these different projects to come into PulseChain, because, if that's what's happening on Ethereum right now, and that's what a lot of the traffic and a lot of the, gas fees are getting used for, then it just makes sense, right, for that to become a bigger marketplace on the PulseChain. So I think you are possibly the first NFT artist I've ever had on the show, which is great. I definitely want to speak to more people in that community and learn more myself. Like I said, I looked into it for a minute and I just felt like it was kind of over my head, but that was a couple years ago when I didn't know much about crypto at all. So
it's definitely kind of like a bizarro world.
Yeah.
Like, I won't lie, like there's a lot of great things about it, but at some points it's a little bit ridiculous, but I don't know. I love the degens that come hang out with us.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's a cool thing too, is right. Like I feel like it's like not if a filter is not the right word, but it's like NFTs attract a different crowd, right? They attract a lot of people who would not hear about Hex or PulseChain otherwise. So I think that that's the net positive in the NFT world, is just people learning through PulseFunks, through your project. And I know that there's others that I can't think of right now. A Staker class, so much going on that is going to bring more eyes and ears to this Richard Heart ecosystem in general, which is super cool. Oh, and then the last / bonus question, speaking of Richard Heart, have you read Sci-Vive? And if not, is there a quote that maybe Richard has talked about? Is there anything inspiring Richard has said that has inspired you?
So I've mostly just kind of skimmed Sci-Vive. I've read maybe the first chapter or so. There's a lot of really great information there. But what I like about Richard Heart, just generally, is that he's very much like himself. I feel like he's genuine and that he really does want to make the world a better place. I do get the sense that he kind of just wants to prove some people wrong too. But I also like that about him. I like that he has a chip on his shoulder. But yeah, I guess Sci-Vive, I've read maybe the first chapter. So I did see that there was a part where he talks about VR and that he doesn't like it. That's okay. But yeah, there's a lot of cool research and science stuff that's on there that I think is very useful.
Awesome. And let's see, there's a question for you here. Is there any ETA when your PLSD stock NFTs will be on PulseChain?
That's a good question. I should ask Danny. He's the founder of the project. But I guess people will have to list for stocks, they'll have to list their NFTs, their copies on PulseChain, on one of these marketplaces. So really it's up to you guys that have them, that want, if you want to sell them, to put them on the marketplaces.
Fantastic. Very cool. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Mana, do you have anything you want to add, talk about, chill, say?
Not really. I will say I do have some collaborations coming up with some big NFT artists that are going to be minting on PulseChain. So very exciting. I'm really just like looking forward to Mintra launching their marketplace. Yeah, that's about it. I'm just excited and happy to be here. Happy to be on this stream. Happy to be in like the Twitter spaces with you guys and the Telegram chats. Just love, being a part of the community. It's making it like a more positive space too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big goal of mine in general, right? Is to just stay positive, bring more positivity, be uplifting. Again, because this bear market has been brutal. A lot of people are really upset. And, we just have to remember to just, hold on. There's a brighter tomorrow coming. And remember to, remember to think in terms of gratitude, right? What can you be grateful for right now? What can you be grateful for today? Let's see. I'm gonna honor this next. Hold on. We got people still coming in the chat. You still got a few minutes? You good on time?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So usually this show's pretty short. Like I like to do a little more shorter format. But if we get questions, I definitely want to address them. So let's see. This is coming from Dart Baloroth. Do you reckon it's a positive or negative for adoption that most of the current PulseChain projects seem to be schlong based? Are we talking about 9-inch and PP and I mean, what else would be schlong based? I mean, I don't know.
That's a good question.
I like how I didn't finish reading the question before I posted it, but that's okay. We're still going to answer your question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Is it positive or negative? I don't know. It gets attention, right? I guess there's that. But yeah, I do think this community has like, there's a certain vibe to it with like, the Red Bull can and just like shit. So I don't know whether it's positive or negative. I guess it doesn't matter as long as it brings attention. And we're gonna have lots of positive stuff going on PulseChain too. If people think that that's like negative, that's okay. Whatever. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's positive. I think we need schlongs of all sizes in this community.
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Gonna say what's up to Crypto Glider. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. And y'all, I just saw Eschatar. Hopefully I'm saying that right. See you at the Boise meetup. Sweet. Come through. Let your friends know. Hide your kids, hide your wife. No, I'm just kidding. Bring everybody and let them know. Last little shill from me. If you didn't see it already, check out pulsechaintour.com for the official meetups. I am going to go ahead and do one other unofficial meetup as of right now. So we're doing, again, Friday night, 6 p.m., Kona Grill it's not actually in Boise. And I can't think of the name of the town right now. But if you want details, DM me. My DMs are open. I will let you know all the details. Hexo's going to be there. Nerd Girl's going to be there. Hex Nurse is going to be there. It is going to be a blast. DJ Pollywood, Some Hexagon, Meridian. Thank you. Look at that. I just said Some Hexagon's name and there he comes through with the info. So yeah, we'll be in Meridian. So come hang out. And the other one I'm planning to do right now, I do not have a date or a time yet. It'll likely be around the first week of July, which is coming up real quick here. Salt Lake City. So I'll be in Salt Lake City. And I'm doing some stuff with a mechanic out there, which is why it's kind of up in the air. I don't know at what point he's going to be able to check out this little last thing I need to get done on the bus. But come through Salt Lake. If you are interested in that, definitely reach out to me and let me know that you want to come hang out. I think I can see Fashion Coder. I just blanked on her name. I could see her face. Fashion Coder is going to help me with organizing that. So she'll definitely be there. I'm trying to get Hexray Vision out. If any of you all are talking to him, see him around. I messaged him and he didn't see it yet. So I'm trying to get a hold of Max as well. Definitely want to see him come through. Miss that guy. So thank you, Mana, so much for being here, for being my guest, for helping me ignite this Woman Crush Wednesday super show. If you know any other women, especially in the NFT space, maybe women that I'm or Twitter space, like anyone that's in Twitter spaces, the NFT space, those are places that I do not frequent and I'm not really like a part of as much. So send me messages. If you're one of those people, feel free to DM me. If you are scared to go on camera, or you've never done this before, or you have no idea what you're doing, but you need more exposure, that is exactly what this show is about. Like, I want people to come up here who, you know, like want to get their word out to the community, who maybe, you know, you've never broadcasted before, but you want to try it out. We can even do it. You don't have to have your camera on. I'm totally open to so many different things in terms of that. And I really just want to uplift and promote the women in this space. So again, yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Share the stream, like, subscribe, comment, all the fancy things. I'm not rags to riches. I want your attention. Just kidding. All right, y'all. You have been wonderful. Thanks again, and have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.